Welcome back to the What We Said podcast. Hello, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a safe weekend. And we are in the middle of July. Surprise, surprise.
We're back at it.
How have you been?
I've been great. We just celebrated Benny's first birthday, which is so crazy.
Insane.
So I feel like I've just been reflecting on the past year, honestly.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been a year.
I know, it really does fly. I'm just realizing all the parenting cliches are true for a reason, and even just the postpartum stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, after it's been a year, it just, well, number one, it goes by in like the blink of an eye, it feels like, which is good. I honestly needed to hear that when I was freshly postpartum. That actually does go by pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's refreshing that I'm like living a life, because when you're so in the trenches, in the thick of having a new baby, and your whole world is kind of just getting flipped upside down and you're learning this new lifestyle, it can sometimes feel like it's just going to be, you're going to be like that forever, truly. Like, I remember walking when I was postpartum. I don't remember how many, maybe like going on a walk 5 weeks postpartum or something. And I'm like, I do not feel normal. Like my body, I still felt this sense of heaviness down there. And I was so grateful to have you and have friends who had been postpartum before, and for them to be like, yes, that's normal, but also don't push it. Like if you are feeling that way, then just relax. Like there will be a time when you feel good again. And that was very refreshing, because it's just like, it's nice to know that time does move, and where you're at isn't where you'll be forever. And they really do grow up so fast. So it's like, you can never get back the time you had. But Leif and I always talk about how we're like, okay, so when she was a newborn, she literally didn't move. Like we didn't really soak that in because we didn't understand. It's like, no. She did not move at all.
Big
she's just
adjustment.
A little lump. And now she's just like a little person, and it's so fun. But I truly feel like I am getting into more of the groove of motherhood every day, which is such a good feeling. And I just feel like I'm more obsessed with her than ever. And it really, literally every single day grows more, where I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're a little person. You have a personality. She's been like doing funny little things. And then if we all laugh, she'll like do it again. And just stuff like that, where I'm like, you're a person. Yeah. And it's so cool. So it was super fun. We did just a little like family birthday party. It wasn't really a party, but it was funny because I was just debating. I'm like, I don't know. When they're one, they can't remember anything, obviously. Yeah. So anything you're doing is just for you, and it's fun to celebrate them and stuff. But I was like, I don't want to do a big party. Maybe I'll just do like have people over for brunch or something, or like a little breakfast. And then the night before, I'm putting streamers up at midnight and cutting fruit into flowers shapes. And I'm like, okay, it's just getting more extra by the second.
You can't not.
I couldn't help it. It's my baby's first birthday.
It's inevitable. It's just a snowball.
It is. But it was so fun. We just had a super small, like little breakfast, basically family and Chelsea. But it was so fun to celebrate and just like have people together. That's the fun part of it anyway, is that we just like had our family together. And it's always fun to all be together and to be able to hang out, because my brothers were able to fly in, and so were my parents. And we're not even together. We're not all together very often because we all live in different states. So to get everyone together was so fun. A crime against humanity that I am giving as a PSA. This is my one regret of the party, is that I didn't get pictures with Benny and like each person that was there. And that is haunting me. Like it is haunting me until this moment. I'm just like, why in the world? Because I was just caught up in like,
it's hard to do everything.
The day, yes. And I took some pictures of her and like her with her cake, whatever. But I didn't get any pictures of her with you, her with my mom and my dad, her with my brothers, me and Leif with her. I'm like, excuse me? I mean, there's a few random little candids and stuff here and there, but I was like, that was my biggest crime of the weekend.
I know. It's really hard to remember everything, especially when you are the one putting the party on. It would be so nice to just have a photographer that you hire that just is dedicated to documenting your life.
I know. Honestly, it would be. I forgot. Oh, I remember what I was going to tell you.
What?
Remember how I was taking photos of Benny and Elwood sitting on the blanket? Gone. Don't exist. I know for a fact that I took them on film with my camera because I was shooting them this way. Did 2 rolls, got them developed, not on there. And I'm like, was there a 3rd roll I didn't know about? And I'm positive that there wasn't. So those photos don't exist. And they were so cute.
Wait,
literally,
what?
they were looking at each other, Elwood and Benny, sitting on the cutest quilt that my mom got Benny for her birthday. I was like, I'm so excited to get these developed. Gone. I'm not joking. Glitch in the Matrix, not there. All the pictures I took before and after are there because I was trying to finish off that roll, and I remember doing ding, ding, ding. I remember going over here, that one's there. The one I took a photo, and random photo of 38? Carter. Yep, they're all there, but not any of the ones I took. I am so confused. And that was one of the only things I did do was get pictures of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't get a picture with Benny, but at least Ellen and Benny.
No, gone. And that's the scam of our life. Remember when that has happened before?
Yes. With Benny.
With you.
Me holding Benny for the first time.
Yes,
those
gone.
photos.
That is the one risky part about film that is so... But I've truly... It was blowing my mind. I'm like, I only did 2 rolls. I know that. I got them both developed, and they were both full 36 rolls. Where are the photos? Gone.
What?
I promise you. And I've like dug through. Yeah. I'm like, was I missing a roll? Did I shoot half a roll?
That's insanely weird.
Because
that's what happened that's exactly what happened. Like I remember. Were they the first pictures of the roll?
No. Because I was trying to finish off the roll.
Because that's what happened, I think, with the photos that you took of me and Benny. Is I think it was the first ones on the roll, and it like didn't quite
click
start
or something.
Yet. Yeah, I don't know. Because it was...
Yeah, that so was baffling. Really
There's nothing actually
pissing
that
me off,
makes me more sick to my stomach than that.
Because it's like you were there in that moment and you know you took it. That's the weirdest part is like I was fully having a photo shoot of them. I took like 7 photos minimum on film because they were like looking at each other.
Wait. We got what is happening?
I swear. I do not know what happened. I was going to text you and then I forgot. And so this was the perfect time to tell you, but I was shocked, and I was telling Leif about it. He's like, "Yeah, I watched."
Were there any of Benny and Ella together?
Not one. no. They're me just wants a reaction.
I mean, I have an iPhone.
Like, never, and they'll never see each other again. There are a few of them, like candids of them standing together.
I have some on my phone.
None of the ones where we like we sat them next to each other.
I have a video of, and maybe I can see if you are actually taking the photos in the video.
I know for a fact I was.
But maybe we can hear something.
We hear a click.
No, that's not it. Okay.
So disheartening.
Maybe I didn't take a video.
What is our curse of our lost film photos?
Oh, and they look so cute.
I know. It's so
That's
disgusting.
Crime.
I know.
I'm so sad.
So that was very discouraging. But other than that, the actual day was great, and it was so fun.
The memories are there.
Mm-hmm. She was just loving the attention, which was cracking me up because she was not scared. I thought you know how sometimes when kids get happy birthday sung to them, they're like, whoa, because everyone's like in their face singing to them, and it's like kind of loud. Didn't care a bit.
Yeah.
Just loved every moment.
Was like loving everyone watching her eat.
Yes.
Like, actually, it wasn't like she was loving it. It was just like, yeah, this is what should be happening.
Just like, yeah, this is natural.
This is what I've been like. Why don't you do this more often?
Exactly.
She's the queen.
It was giving a casual day in her life. Princess behavior. No, it was so fun. And this is by far my favorite age. Like, which fun. I'm sure it'll just keep being that way.
Yeah.
From now on, honestly. But I just feel like it's the first time that she's more interactive, so it's more rewarding. Like, don't get me wrong, I was obsessed with her forever, always, even when she was a tiny little baby, but she wasn't giving me much, you know what I mean? And now it's like
not much to work with.
Exactly. The fact that she is just like so expressive and fun and will like hug me and is the best thing ever.
It's like you're just finding ways and reasons to love them more.
Yes.
Because of their personality and just like things they do and stuff.
I feel like I'm starting to actually see her personality, which is so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. It was
so cute. Time. You did great.
Thank you.
So cute. The food was amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it all turned out
was great.
It all turned out great. It was just funny because it was getting more. it just started out as I'm like, this is so casual. Like you would text me, you're like, let me know if you need help. I'm like, no, I will not need help with anything. I'm doing basically nothing. I walk into my house. It's literally like transformed into a birthday wonderland. I'm
literally.
Luckily my brother and his girlfriend were in town and they actually helped me the night before. They were helping with put some stuff up. And so
nice.
It was actually really nice to have
I had so much help with Elwood's party. Like my in-laws were in town, my brother and sister-in-law, and Abby helped me so much with it. And I was just like, what did I do? Like, what am I doing? This is like a huge production.
No, it becomes more and more. Like it starts
Nick it was
snowballing.
Gonna be chill.
Exactly. It starts snowballing and you're like, somehow this is a huge thing. I was thinking about you doing his party because you did invite more people. Like I truly just invited family and you guys. But to me, it's
There's
like
so
it was
many little things.
But it just turned into a whole production. I'm like, goodness, if this was like a full blown party, which like maybe next year I would do a full party. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of work.
I know, especially when they get older. That's the thing about Elwood's parties. Obviously, he was turning 1, but because Case is older and all of his friends are older, and like that's who's coming is older kids, then you have to think about entertaining the kids.
Like activities and stuff. Yeah, you can't just have nothing for them to do.
And food for them.
Yeah.
Instead of just it's like a lot.
For sure.
It's crazy. But it's fun.
It is fun. It's fun being the adult now and, creating our own reality.
You just realize right before, like, they only turn 1 once.
Exactly.
So you're like, then I need to. And then you have this moment of like, okay, no.
Yeah.
We're going all out.
Yep. No, I'm so happy we did. And
yes,
she was
so cute. She loved it. She just was like, this is my reign.
I know. When she was sitting on the table and like hugging that little elephant that I got her, the jelly cat.
No, and she knows like for the camera.
It's
not even like that's what I'm saying. She wasn't even like trying hard. Like she's just like, this is where I belong, in front of the camera, in front of a crowd. Yeah. Just bring it on.
She's the best. I'm obsessed with her. So yeah, she's won. Been a mom for a year, getting in the groove and living a life. And that's good enough for me.
Exactly.
I was listening to Maddie and she was talking about on her podcast, she was like, basically that exact thing, how you just sometimes feel like that is what your new life is. She's like, I genuinely was like, oh, I'll never get a pedicure again. I'll never, like just little things that you're like, my baby's never going to sleep. It just feels like you're in this completely different reality than you were like 6 months prior, where you're like, I don't have a life anymore. And it's comforting to know that you will have a life, like, and that you still will feel like yourself. Like, honestly, this is the dumbest example. It's so refreshing to me that I'm still eating up Love Island. I'm like, okay, so I am still me. Like, I am just, still making time to occasionally do girls' nights and things like that. Like, yes, my life has shifted so much, but I'm also still myself. And that's very comforting because I feel like it can feel for a second like you don't know when that's coming.
Yes, exactly. Like
or when you'll feel normal. Yeah. So, and I'm not even all the way there yet, I don't think, but I'm getting there. So it feels really good.
I know. It's a wild ride and ever evolving, always changing. It's really crazy. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I really feel like it's always like by the week. Some weeks I'm like, wow, I've got the flow down. Cool. Got it for the rest of my life. Like, bring on the kids. I could have 7 more kids with this rate. Like, I've got it so streamlined. And the next week I'm like, and what did I think I was doing having 2 children? Like, this is so crazy. And then the next week I'm like, no, I got it. It's nice. It's just ever evolving. Because they change so much at this age. So it's like, it's just insane. Yeah. That you think you have a routine can change in one day.
It's true.
Because they're different.
It's kind of unpredictable. But I've always said I kind of thrive in a little bit of chaos. And so I like it. Because I'm like, okay, it's fun. A challenge.
It would be weird if it would stay the same.
Yes. I also feel like as I'm thinking about it, being a mom has inspired me and motivated me so much. I feel like I am the most like motivated in a certain sense that I almost can't even put into words than I've ever been before, which is so, again, refreshing for myself to feel that way, because that was kind of another narrative that I was scared of, is just that I was like going to completely, even though I really didn't want to, just like lose myself to motherhood in the way that I would just not have my own identity anymore, or again, like my own friendships, my own hobbies, and that I would completely lose the motivation to work and come up with creative ideas. I just felt like, oh, well, I'm just so immersed in this now. Like, how am I going to do all of that? And it's so nice to feel like I feel more motivation because I feel like I have more of a purpose too. And it's also very motivating having a kid, and you want to give them the best life. You also want to be the best example you possibly can. So it makes me want to be the best version of myself. Like, I feel like that's literally why I've been able to stay consistent with working out, even, is because I'm like, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be healthy. I want to start all these habits now. When Benny's 5, I want her to know that about me, that that's something I prioritize. I want her to grow up that way. And so that is such a huge motivating factor. Like, I didn't know it would be that way. I hoped it would, but it's been so nice feeling like, oh wow, having a kid hasn't like stifled me. I think it's made me stretch, and I feel more motivated, honestly, than ever to like everything, to be creative, to make money, to be strong and fit, like all of that. I feel like Benny has like pulled that out of me.
Aw, I love that. That's amazing. Nice.
I love my queen.
I feel
She's the best.
Maybe you find like this as well, that it's more of like a streamlined motivation, or like more direction, that it's easier almost to like move forward because you have a little bit more direction. That's how I feel. Like my motivation is more streamlined, is like really the only way I can think about it, where it's like it feels more less messy and just in my brain, like more, okay, this is the direction to go up. Even though the mental load is is a lot.
Don't get me wrong. It's like so overwhelming at times too.
Yes, but the thing that's pushing you forward almost feels like more
solidified.
Yes.
Well, also I feel like before, and not to say you can't have purpose in your life if you don't have kids, because I don't think that's true at all. But I feel like with certain things, even with my workout routines, I would stay like decently consistent. But if I felt like, well, if I don't go, it's not affecting anyone. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily always apply. Like, obviously it could affect your partner or whoever. But I think now that I have a daughter, I'm like, I feel like my actions do directly affect her. I actually feel like if I do just, start things and then don't finish them, I'm showing her that that's okay and that that's how you live life. Like, I obviously know I'm not going to be a perfect example in every way, but like if I can try to be just, I think, consistent, I want her to grow up with a very consistent model of like, oh, my mom sticks to like all of these different things, I want her to
like
grow up with that mentality.
Learn.
Yes. And not just like, oh, I start this workout routine and then I give up in a few weeks every time. Like but again, then I'm also not like, I don't want her to grow up thinking I'm this tyrant of like, you have to do everything. So I'm just saying, I just want to be consistent. I want to be healthy. I want to be the best version of myself, because I feel like that's going to give her a solid childhood. Like,
yes,
even just trying to go outside every day and do things like that. Like, it is important to me. And I feel like because I have that motivation now, it's a lot different than it used to be, where it's like, if I don't go on a walk today, who cares? But now I'm like, well, I want Benny to get fresh air. I want her to be in the sunlight. Like, I want her to see all the plants. So that motivates me, which is so little, but I feel like thing after thing, it just builds up. And that's one of my favorite parts of being a parent, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
So
very relatable. Love that.
I know. It's fun that she has a summer birthday too. I feel like it's a fun time of year. I was asking some of my friends with summer birthdays if they like it or don't like it. And all of them were telling me that they like it, because I was wondering if, people be out of town. So it's like,
oh yeah,
maybe you're having a birthday party. I mean, when she gets older, it's like she can have a birthday party and then people are not going to be able to come. But I mean, pros and cons to every time of year for your birthday.
Yeah.
But she just feels like a little summer baby.
Yeah,
she is.
Definitely.
So it's fun.
Something feels like she was supposed to be born in the summer.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I have been off my routine a little bit, and something that tends to slip when I'm not in my flow of a routine and I'm out and about all day, or we have family in town, friends visiting, is specifically how balanced my meals are. I tend to go out more and I start to kind of stress like, okay, wait, I'm feeling guilty for not having a plate full of veggies every night or every lunch. And I obviously want to be getting my key nutrients in. So, whether you're juggling work and family and grabbing takeout to give yourself a break or simply in the mood for something you know isn't the best, Ritual is here to help. I take Ritual every single day. So, Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin, that's one I take every day, isn't exactly a salad in a pill, but it is formulated to help you fill key nutrient gaps that you might not be getting enough of from your diet. I got my blood drawn a while ago and got to see some of the nutrients that I was not necessarily deficient in, but was low on. And that made me really step up my supplement game. And I could see literally the numbers and how important it is to be on top of all of my vitamins and nutrients and making sure I'm having that balanced diet to make sure that I'm living my best healthy life.
Ritual also backs their products up with legitimate university led clinical trials and third party testing and all of that so that you know you are actually getting an efficient product. So they led a clinical trial for this Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin just to make sure, again, it's efficient. And the results were that it increased vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks, which is really incredible. Their Essential for Women 18 Plus multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day. It's also designed to be gentle on the stomach, which I love. It has like a minty essence too, so it doesn't taste nasty when you swallow it. It doesn't have a bad aftertaste, which I personally love. It makes it easy to take your multivitamins. They're also third-party tested for heavy metals so that you know you can trust what you're putting into your body. Ritual has been one of our longest standing sponsors. We just love them so much. So if you're trying to get on your supplement grind, not all supplements are created equal. There are just a lot of companies out there. You want to make sure you are going to someone that you trust, and we definitely trust Ritual. So instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health. Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/whatwesaid. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 Plus to your subscription today. That is ritual.com/whatwesaid for 25% off.
Your local bevy girls, that's us, have a new Bev.
If you were confused, it's us.
We have a new Bev recommendation for you guys. Okay. So Simply Pop. Simply Pop is a new fruit forward bevy of prebiotic sodas made with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support gut health and vitamin C and zinc to support immune function. So that's why Simply Pop contains the same real fruit flavors that you know and love and no added sugar. Makes for a soda that even a juice would drink. This sounds like heaven. Nothing I love more on a hot summer day than a sparkly, fresh, fruity drink. And this is all of that combined. They have a fruit punch flavor that's really calling my name actually right now because I'm feeling quite parched. And it's amazing because, like I said, they have those 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support gut health. So it's a win-win.
I love a beverage with no sugar added. You really can't beat that. They also have so many amazing flavors. They've got pineapple mango, lime, strawberry, fruit punch, citrus punch. This is perfect for, well, really every day, but also just getting into spring and summer, having a barbecue or a little girls' night to have a nice little beverage with some added zinc, vitamin C to support immune health, prebiotic fiber to support your gut health. Again, no sugar added, all that. We love it. So go to cokeurl.com/simplypop to find out where you can try Simply Pop.
This episode of What We Said is brought to you by Huggies Snug and Dry. The new Huggies Snug and Dry are luxuriously soft and ultra dry. Pretty much the 2 things you want and need in a diaper for your little baby who has, just soft skin and they're just learning about the world. They're just, they're just trying to vibe. And sometimes your baby is fussy and you're not sure why. And it's like, okay, maybe they're hungry. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they need their diaper changed. But sometimes when all of those are checked off, you're like, wait, what's happening? And they're just uncomfortable because they can't say, hey, this diaper is not very soft. And so having a soft diaper that you can rely on is so, so, so important. And these are so, so, so soft. So how soft are we talking? Unbelievably soft, irresistibly soft. And doesn't your baby deserve a diaper that's oh so gentle on their cute little baby bum?
You can't control everything when you have a baby. And again, you're never going to know exactly maybe why they're upset because they can't communicate with you. But you want to try and control everything that you possibly can to make them comfortable. And this is definitely a way you can do so by making sure that they're in a comfortable diaper that's dry, that's not rubbing on them in any way, and that's just super soft against their skin. Also, the fact that they are snug as well and they fit well while still being very soft and comfy is amazing. So experience the unexpected softness and up to 100% leak protection of Huggies Snug and Dry diapers More parents choose the new Huggies Snug and Dry Softness versus the leading premium diaper. Huggies, we got you, baby.
I also feel like at this age, they really help you connect with your inner child. So you're like almost, because you're so in touch with them and where they're at in their development, like they're just this pure, innocent, little fun baby. It helps you really like connect with your own inner child at the same time because you're in that headspace a little bit. And I think that's also what helps the motivation and just like helps you be clear-minded sometimes. You're just like, okay, what matters? What do I need to focus on actually? Not just like I get lost in, oh, everyone says I should do this or what is the newest trend? Like makes you actually realize what is important. And then it's just like more motivating and easier to think of things that are important to them, to you, and therefore like making you all healthier and more well-rounded.
Yes. And I feel like in general, I feel happier day to day. And because I smile so much more. Like I was thinking about it. I'm like, the physical act of smiling is so powerful. You know, people will say like, oh, get in the mirror and smile and it will make your day so much better. I am smiling so much just like looking at her and seeing her laugh. And it's like, I'm constantly smiling back at her. And I'm like, that makes a difference.
Yes.
That makes me feel happier, whether or not I am. It just having that like such pure energy in my house and always looking over and she's smiling or laughing and then I do it back. It's like just such a good energy to be around. And it is so, it's like connecting. I feel childlike, like playing with her and just like smiling. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling very happy because I'm just, it's so innocent and sweet. So I feel like that added to everything too is like it's been a very good, positive shift in my life.
Nice. Yeah. And they have just so much wonder like for the world. And so you're also just kind of in that as well. You're like, oh, yeah, let's go look at this exhibit. Like I would never do that by myself before I had kids. Just like, let me go to this exhibit and like explore this. Right. Or think about, what, and even the questions, I feel like once they start talking, like Case just asked so many questions that sometimes I'm like, okay, that almost borderline sent me into existential dread. But like, why does this happen? Why do the ducks do this? Why is whatever? And it's just like, you have so much wonder for the world. And it's like making me think in a different way, not just so like business, but in like a free spirited, just more awe way.
Definitely. We were just talking. I was like, we should take Benny to the zoo soon. I feel like she would, to some extent, like looking at the animals. She's, getting to a fun age. And that is funny because it's like, I would never just be like, we should go to the zoo. Yeah. But it's fun stuff like that.
Oh my
gosh,
taking Case to the zoo was literally one of my top favorite memories.
Really? For the first time?
Just because of how excited he was. Like, literally seeing the parrots fly, that video that I have. I don't know if I ever posted it.
Do you remember how old he was? Was he less than a year?
He was like a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so like maybe 18 months. And like he saw these parrots fly over like the crowd. It was like a little presentation.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He was, me, my mom, and Abby were sobbing. Just like how excited he was. Like could not hold in his excitement. Like,
oh, that is so sweet.
Over like where you're just like, oh, they're parrots. Beautiful. Yeah. And he was just like, oh my gosh. And everyone was clapping. He's just like, I'm in a huge place with people. Everyone's clapping. This is amazing.
So cute.
It's like so euphoric.
No, maybe we need to wait a few months. Fun. But I feel like she's getting there to where she could appreciate looking at things.
Once they learn like the sounds and stuff and they just like know animals.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So fun. That's completely off topic from what we're talking about today. I just wanted to give you guys a little birthday recap / year in my life recap.
Year recap.
Do you have anything else you want to chat with us?
No.
Me? I'm still here? Yeah. I'm still with us.
I really wish we could talk about Love Island, but it's just like, it just isn't the vibe. It's not up to date. And
can we talk about one aspect of it?
Yeah.
Why am I watching 007?
No,
James
why are we
Bond?
watching Big Brother?
What show have I turned on my screen when there is a car chase happening? What are you talking about? This is so late at this point. Like this episode literally probably happened 2 weeks ago in comparison to when this is going up. But when they did Casa Amor and Alondria and Nick got dumped.
Is that what we're calling it? Casa Amor? Because what the hell was that? What actually was that?
24 hours of the most random.
Hell.
I mean, I'll give them one thing. They've got the entertainment value. I am gooped. I am gagged. I am gasping. But it is so cutthroat and crazy, these dumpings they're doing.
It's literally Survivor, like getting voted off the island.
It's so crazy. And then the thing that I'm referring to is when I'm
blending into this chair, by the way.
You are. It's honestly a lot.
Camouflage. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I'm sorry for the viewers. It's a lot.
No, but I'm liking it. Also, Chelsea gave me the socks off her feet, by the way. Just, I'd like everyone
so you
to
didn't
know.
have your dogs out.
My dogs are going to be out. Anyway, when she got dumped and then she gets in the car and tells Nick to get in, what are we doing here? And we've lost the plot.
Come on, Nick, get in.
Get in. What are these producers doing?
I don't understand, but
again,
I'm here for it.
I'm locked in, but
it's been pissing me off, but in a way where it's like, I gotta see. Like, this is evoking emotion.
Totally.
Which is good.
Like, they're doing a great job. I'm sure
I'm not
it's getting
bored.
a ton of views.
I'm sure as hell not bored.
No, I'm definitely not bored. Which is, honestly, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't want to be bored. This week, we're going to talk about your lies, your white lies that you've told that have snowballed and become a way bigger deal than you wanted them to be. The first example of this that comes to mind is me pretending that Benny is a boy at the restaurant.
Yes.
That is the key, that's the type of story we're talking about, where you just say, he, whatever, and then all of a sudden
you're buying them boy clothes.
You're buying them boy clothes, and it's been an hour, and the family next to you is talking all about your son, and you're saying, I did this to myself. Speaking of which, do you remember when Leif lied to that neighbor girl?
Yes.
And she was like, how's your son? And he was like, he's great. But mind you, we had no kids. At this point, lived in our old house, had no kids. She mistook him for like a previous neighbor or something at a different, anyway, and thought that Leif had a son that would like play in the front yard, but she didn't realize that we were new to the neighborhood, and Leif's just like,
little did he know.
Good.
Benito.
No, exactly. Benito was coming. But that just cracked me up when he told me that. I'm like, why? And then he was terrified. He's like, she's going to see me again.
Yeah.
She would walk around the neighborhood all the time.
Heaven forbid.
There was no son. There was no child at the time.
There's no plane.
Maybe that was foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That was his karma. Literally for lying about that.
Yeah. They're like, from now on, you will have Benny and Bonito.
Yeah, literally.
Last episode, we did unhinged child behaviors.
Yeah.
One of my unhinged child behaviors was lying.
Really?
But like not...
That surprises me.
Not actual lies and not to adults. If I felt that they were fibbing a little bit, like if I'm talking to a friend, someone my age, and I can tell I'm like, you're not being truthful. Like we went to this and it was and we did this, and they're just like going on. I'm like, there's no way.
Like they're lying about a trip they went on or something?
Or like something they did or like something someone said. And I can tell they're just like improving. I'm like, okay. And two can play that game. I would literally improv right back. I'm like, yeah, that happened to me too. And this and this and this.
Kelsey, not that happened to me too. That is diabolical.
Or like, oh yeah, and then this. But also sometimes if I was sensing that the story wasn't hitting, throw an exaggeration here or there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And then they were freaking out. And like, instead of like them just being, oh, dang, like in the story, I'd be like, oh, and then they were freaking out and they were like, oh my gosh. Me at
a little improv never hurt anyone. A little exaggeration. It's show business.
But nothing, I also had an extremely guilty conscience. So nothing that was ever could be proved or that was actually detrimental. Mm-hmm. Okay, it started with one tiny lie. Someone asked if the breakup was bad, and without thinking, I said, yeah, they cheated on me.
Just a bold-faced lie.
They didn't. I was just hurt and wanted someone to feel bad for me. By the end of the day, everyone was talking. People were saying they were a cheater and their new partner was a homewrecker. I didn't stop it. I liked a few shady posts, dropped some sad lyrics, nothing huge, until it was. Someone made a fake account and started posting fake screenshots, and suddenly it was everywhere. People were picking sides. Things got nasty. That's when I realized I'd gone way too far. I took down what I could, told people it wasn't true, sent an apology, no response. Don't recommend. At that point, you got to run with it. Like, I fear. You just have to like stop talking about it.
You got to lean into the lie at that point. Yeah. That is bad. But then I guess you're like completely demolishing his character.
I wonder how old they were
cheat
when this happened.
not the fake screenshots.
Because if this is at like school or is it like in your friend group? Like someone asked if
I bet that's high school.
Yeah, it sounds high school to me.
Maybe college.
Because that seems more like, okay, everyone knows, everyone's talking, and like by the end of the day,
I'm screaming at, yeah, he cheated.
Yeah, they cheated on me.
Yep, they cheated. Just for a little sympathy.
Yeah. Love that. That does sound like a high school thing because by the end of the day, but that actually is a big deal in high school. Like imagine if you broke up with a guy and then you're like, yeah, they cheated on me. Then the whole school would be talking.
That is a big, cheating I feel like is a big deal.
A huge
at that point too. I mean, it always is a big deal, but that's very rumor worthy. Like it just spreads quick.
Yes, that will ruin your reputation.
Oh, real fast. When I first started dating my now husband in 2010, I thought it was a good idea to tell him I was going to be auditioning for America's Next Top Model, even though I had zero intention to do that. I guess I just wanted him to know I was like supermodel hot. I would go on and on in depth about my modeling to him. He was so proud and would go tell his friends about my modeling endeavors. He would ask me when I was auditioning for America's Next Top Model, and I'd always have some excuse as to why I couldn't, or tell him I didn't have the money to apply. I don't think that's a thing, lol. Please. I would act like I had people reaching out to get me to model. He talked about it nonstop, so eventually I told him I decided to go another route with my career so he would stop asking me about it, lol.
Oh my gosh.
Somewhere along the way, I've been with my husband 15 years, and the story unraveled probably about year 2 of dating, lol. We still joke about it to this day. I'm just glad my husband thinks I'm supermodel hot, even though Tyra would never.
I am actually screaming at that.
Me in 6th grade for being like, yeah, wait, Chelsea, I must show you my headshots I got taken because I was convinced I was the next Disney Channel star.
Stop.
There was this guy that went to my church that was a photographer.
Yeah.
And I begged my mom to get headshots taken because I needed them for some audition for like some commercial.
We know the ones. Yeah.
Oh, where you would like go and
they would do like a casting call over the radio and it's like, this is my moment.
I'm like, man, that's me.
Yeah. We were probably both
waiting
in
for
line.
me.
And honestly,
you know what? And look where we're sitting. No, is so funny is I feel like Lindsay Lohan made me believe it was possible.
Yes.
Because she was a redhead. She was so popular, so talented. And I was just like, I'm the next Lindsay.
Yeah. And
never acted a day in my life. But I got these headshots and I need to find them because they're
what? Kendall probably knew at that point and she probably kiboshied any chance you had. Like she probably reached out to agents and was like, don't hire this girl.
Totally.
She's my biggest op and always will be.
I know. She wants to be me so bad. It's so just bad. Like, it's okay. It's something I'll just have to live with forever, you know?
Let's hope that she doesn't have a daughter named Benny.
Can you imagine?
No.
Well, if she marries...
I'm like, no, I can't.
Well, you're like, definitely not. If she marries Benito, then she's copying me again.
True.
Is she still dating Bad Bunny?
I don't know.
I don't know her. Not trying to, start anything, but she did take a solo trip to Yosemite.
Yeah. Where you took your solo trip.
Yep, not there, but solo trip to Sedona, Yosemite. She wanted to be with nature, same vibes. For sure. She was inspired, and that's fine. But I was gonna say the Kardashians have been real quiet.
They're plotting something.
What are they plotting?
A wedding.
I didn't watch 1 second of the latest season of Kardashians.
I watched a couple episodes.
Didn't see a thing about it. I never saw any promotions. I feel like they're either tired. Why wouldn't they be? Goodness gracious. They need a few years off. They have been absolute workhorses. Like they need some time to marinate and get their creative juices flowing. I feel like I haven't heard or seen a thing about them.
No, it's true. No, not really. I mean, Kylie and Timothy were out and about.
Yeah.
I see her all the time, but I don't see like Kim. I mean, besides like the recent Skims thing, she's just been doing Skims, I think.
Yeah. Which I just feel like if they want to
they're probably just so rich
out and about, they will be. Like if they want to have attention, they can get it easily. Mm-hmm. So it's like they don't want it is how I'm feeling.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched a couple episodes. It was good, but it's kind of like my laundry show. Like if the boys are napping and I'm doing laundry, I'll put it on as like a vlog almost.
Like a side Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
a side hobby.
A background noise for sure.
My turn? Sorry.
Looks at me blankly.
What are we doing? When my husband and I were first dating, he was super against watching rated R movies, and I had not thought watching them was a big deal. It came up in conversation one night, literally 3 weeks into dating, and he said that he had never watched a rated R movie and asked me if I had. I just went big and told him I had watched Game of Thrones, but mostly because my ex-boyfriend liked watching it. He then started spiraling, and I literally thought he was going to break up with me over the fact I had watched something so raunchy. So I lied and said that GOT was really the main rated R thing I had watched. Well, as we continued dating and ultimately got married, he suddenly realized that some of the best movies are rated R. I have since had to fake watching so many rated R movies as if I'm watching them for the first time.
Please.
It's not like he'd care now, but it would mean that I lied to him at the beginning of our dating. I don't want him thinking we have a sham of a marriage.
Please.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they're Mormon 100%, right? Like
100%.
Isn't that, do you think that's a thing other places, like elsewhere? The rated R movies of it all?
Not into adulthood, but I do think in general, like the ratings are there for a reason.
Well, for sure. I'm saying
not
adults
as like
not watching them.
Yeah, no.
I don't think that's a thing anywhere else.
No.
I mean, maybe in certain other religions or
Yeah.
something, or like, don't watch whatever. But to have it be a rule, I don't remember the first rated R movie that I've watched. Have I told you I'm getting more into movies? I haven't watched any yet, but I will be.
Yeah.
Have I told you that that's a new goal of mine?
Maybe.
Oh.
A goal? Maybe I didn't know about the goal.
Well, I'm like, I will watch this many movies a week. No, I will never commit to watching them. Not never, but definitely on a weekday. Like, I won't just commit to watching a movie because I'm like, that is 3 hours long. Like, but then I'll watch just the equivalent in other thing. Like, I'll watch 2 episodes of something or whatever. And so I feel like movies are so much more actually like inspiring, and there's so many good movies I haven't seen.
Yes.
So I'm committed to watching some of those classics that I haven't seen, and
Like just by yourself go to the movies, or you're like, oh, I want to watch like at night.
more like at night when Benny's down, like maybe with Leif, maybe alone. Just I mean,
Going to the movies alone would be a vibe.
Yeah, for sure it would. We need to see Wicked 2, or like the second part of Wicked when it comes out.
Wicked.
For sure. But I think mostly I'm just talking about movies that already exist that people will say like, oh, this movie's so good. And I'm like, I've never seen that. And it's like a classic where I feel dumb to say I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know.
There's
I
so
know.
many
I'm
movies.
weird and quirky and different.
There's so many movies.
There's so many. And they're just... Every time I watch a good movie, though, I'm so inspired.
Yeah,
so
you have to get into movies to keep watching movies. Like, you have to watch one movie that will get you into movies again. It's like reading.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
Because it
trying to
seems
do that
daunting.
more.
Love that.
But the rated R movies thing cracks me up, especially into adulthood. It's like...
I've been in my Disney movie era, and I'm reminded how just absolutely heartbreaking most of them are.
So sad.
Lion King?
Bambi,
especially. Lion
Fox
King,
and the
though,
Hound.
is so like, oh my gosh.
I was thinking about our Halloween costume from last year, and I'm not going to be able to top it. But
What, that movie?
our family costume that we did,
You will.
of Ratatouille. I'm like,
It was really cute.
it was
but
just so cute. I guess Benny, just as a little mouse when she was so little, was just so perfect.
cute. I know. So
But
cute. You'll have many as they grow. Like, she'll be obsessed with like some kind of character or something, and
true.
like seeing the joy on her face being like what she loves.
Yeah.
We'll top it.
I don't
for
know if
sure.
I'm even committing to like family costumes each year, but then I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
started out doing it, so
Yeah.
now are we just in this?
Yeah.
We'll see.
As long as you're under this roof, you're
I
doing
guess
family
so.
costumes.
A few years ago, I was a counselor for my school dance team's kiddie camp, and I was a counselor for first graders. They were honestly so annoying. I'm happy to say I will never be a teacher one day. Anyway, of course, and as expected, they asked me if I had a boyfriend. I didn't, but kids are gullible, so I convinced them I was dating this college baseball player that I had the biggest crush on for years. I had just finished my junior year, was an upcoming senior, and the baseball guy was about to be a sophomore in college. Somehow they believed me, and they went and told the other counselors, aka my teammates. They just kind of laughed, but then later they asked me if I was actually dating this D1 baseball guy. I have no idea why, but I said, yeah, I actually was dating him. I instantly panicked because why the heck would I make up a lie that big? They looked surprised and asked all the questions. I made up an entire story. He and my cousin played on the same club team. He went to a different school in our city, which actually was true. We grew up in the same city, LOL. We just went to different schools.
Stop.
We met at my cousin's grad party and started talking. Had been dating for almost 2 years. Had been going strong even though he lived like 3 hours away. I guess my story was convincing enough because they believed me. They asked for a picture of us together, but thank goodness our director called us to do something, or else I don't know what I would have done. But I knew that I had to come up with something. Later, I asked my friend who was in yearbook and photography if she could edit a photo of me and him together. I told her the whole situation. She thought it was hilarious. She helped me anyways. I found a picture of him in his baseball uniform where he was standing right next to his mom. She edited me. She edited me in place of his mom, and it actually looked so convincing. I gave her $20 for saving my ass. Please. Not to impress the first graders. No. I am screaming. I showed my teammates the picture and they were all like, oh, wow, giving me props for pulling a D1 baseball player. When school started, I was still pretending like I was dating him. One time his school was playing the college in my city, so my teammates asked if I was going to go support him at the game. I said yes, even though I had not planned to go. I bought a very expensive ticket and went to the game by myself. I have no idea why I did it, but I took a picture of the field, wrote a little caption that said number 3, his jersey number with a heart, and posted it to my Instagram story. Another time I wanted attention, so I changed my mom's contact to his name, and then when my mom called me, I would be like, my boyfriend's calling, BRB, and then walk a distance away from them and pretend to be smiling and giggling while on the phone with my mom. You could not waterboard this information out of me. So funny. BRB. During holiday breaks, I would lie and say he was coming home.
Oh, this is a long scheme.
And tell my teammates and now friends, yes, the lie extended to majority of my school friends about what we were going to do together over the breaks. I would use my brother and take pictures of our hands when we were holding hands. Okay.
Her side hustle.
And use him for photos without his face in it. Think soft launch photos of her brother. When prom rolled around, I was asked if he was going to come home and take me. I said yes. I really needed to stop saying yes to everything. But obviously, I had no real boyfriend to take me. So I lied and said he had gotten the flu, so he couldn't make it to prom.
Goodbye.
So yeah, I went to prom without a date because of a stupid lie. A little bit after we graduated, I told everyone that we broke up. They were all pretty sad for me because from what I told them, we were soulmates. The lie also robbed me from ever having a high school sweetheart unless me and this guy somehow got married. Sorry for the long story, but I hope you enjoy, ladies.
Oh.
Ma'am. Nothing good even came from it.
That is the longest scheme, Ponzi scheme.
A scheme that also doesn't benefit you one bit. It's just so
literally
hard to keep up. I mean, yeah, literally.
He goes to a different school.
I guess it benefits you by getting cool points from people, but for what?
Yeah, and now
Heaven
you're
forbid
lonely.
He gets a girlfriend, starts posting about her on social media. And you're like, we broke up.
Yeah, aren't they like,
you're
what's
screwed.
he doing? What?
Number
I feel
3,
like if that was my
his
friend,
jersey number is
I would
so
be
funny.
like,
yeah, he got the flu, couldn't make it. You've never seen him.
No, and maybe they just feel bad for her. They're like, let's just pretend to go along with it. We know she's lying.
Photoshopped photos are that is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Insane.
Wait, didn't she say this all happened because of a first grade? Like
a first grader?
Because the first graders. Because she said she was a counselor for my school dance team's kiddie camp. And they would ask.
But she keeps saying teammates.
Okay, no. Yeah, when we're getting swindled right now too. No, because it started because they asked her if she had a boyfriend. And so she said, kids are gullible, so I convinced them I was dating this college baseball player that I had a crush on. Then I guess she's saying, then the kids told the other counselors, aka my teammates.
Okay. So
then the teammates were asking,
like, oh, is that true?
Yes. Because in my head at the beginning, she was still doing this bit for the first graders.
No,
I'm like, why are we trying to impress them?
It's almost better if it was for the first grader because it would just be like kind of a funny thing.
Right.
With your actual friends.
With your actual
crazy.
teammates. No, it's so crazy. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, when I was a child, my mom was pretty strict about sending us to school. If my siblings or I woke up feeling sick or tired, she would still make us go, and we literally had to be on our deathbed in order to get a day off. I was desperate for a midweek cartoon binge and decided I would tell a lie. I woke up and told my parents that I couldn't see. I was hysterical because I was now essentially blind, and after a little commitment from me, they let me stay home. I knew my mom would be mad if she thought I was faking it, so I kept it up and exaggerated it, saying I was dizzy, weak, and exhausted. By the afternoon, my mom had me in the car for the emergency room. I remained a faithful actress and faked my way through the test. I was sent home after no results showed anything, and I went back to normal the next day. Then, about a month later, I was taken by my parents to a new doctor's office. I had to answer lots of questions, do certain tasks, and explain to 2 doctors what I thought about various things. I went a few times over the span of about a year, but then never saw them again. 16 years later, it randomly came up in conversation with my parents. Turns out the ER doctors suspected I had schizophrenia, aka voices in my head telling me I was blind, and advised my parents to take me to a specialist for testing. My mom cried when she found out I had lied about it, as the specialists were so expensive. And my parents were so scared for my future if I had been given a severe diagnosis. I learned my lesson and never lie about my health to this day. Well, good girl. Love the pod.
No, that is actually terrifying. I'm thinking as a parent, if your kid's like, I'm blind, like randomly, you'd be like, I
can't see. Like, are you sure?
Like, you're going to the hospital immediately.
Tell them you have something else.
Well, also, if you tell them you're blind, then you can't watch cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, well, how does this? She's like, I was dying for a cartoon binge. Mama, you can't see them. They're not going to let you stay home and watch cartoons. They're going to be like, you're going to the emergency room.
The emergency room. You're blind and you're dizzy. You're not okay.
Because at first I was thinking, okay, kind of a good one, because it's like
so sad for your parents.
It's really sad.
It's like they're just freaking out.
Oh man,
oh my gosh, that's so scary.
And the specialist being so expensive.
This is like making me my trust plummet in people, because there are certain things I'm like, I just assume everyone tells the truth. I just assume, I'm like, why would they lie? I'm learning now, apparently for no reason.
Yeah, for fun.
For fun.
No, some people I genuinely believe like
just lie
all the time for fun.
Wow.
I told my now husband that I was a virgin when we were dating because I thought he would not like me because I wasn't. Kind of a red flag. And now I've had to continue that little lie all through our marriage. We've been married for almost 6 years.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
6 years.
Okay, wait.
Hey, yay.
What did she say at the beginning again?
She said, I told my now husband that I was a virgin when they started dating because she thought he wouldn't like her if she said that she had sex before.
Said, what was the next sentence?
She said kind of a red flag. I think she's saying like
for her
a red flag that if he wouldn't have liked me.
Yeah.
Like that would have been a red flag in hindsight, she's saying, if he didn't like me because I had sex before.
Oh, like in hindsight. Yeah.
I think that's what she's saying.
Because I'm like, mama.
And then she said now she's had to continue the little lie all through our marriage. I wouldn't consider that little.
Oh.
Because that's...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He literally thinks that, especially if he was a virgin too, or if he said he was a virgin, and then he's thinking like you guys are losing your virginity together and that's the only person. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that is quite a lie to start out.
It's
not really that big of a deal that you have had sex with someone else.
It's the lie.
It's the lie that's kind of
that bad. You lied. It's not necessarily the deed. I mean, again, for him, whatever, but if it's like, this is none of your business, that's one thing. Like, I don't feel like I have to tell you, then, you know, you can discuss that.
That's
but
your
like,
prerogative,
you lied.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the
like,
thing.
I'm just feeling like if I thought that I was under the like assumption that was the first person, and then he's like, oh, actually I've had sex with someone else before, I'd be like, pardon? Like, that is not some information that I knew. And which again, who cares? But also, you lied about that. Like, that's sketchy.
You like to feel a united front as a partnership. So the thing about
okay, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the thing about that is, especially if you grew up in the same town or if like you have the same friends and it's like someone you know, that's even like if it's kind of like, oh, I was in a different, you don't have no idea. It's a little different, but like heaven forbid you like are in the same friend group and it's like someone, that I don't know,
comes up somehow or what?
Yeah. And you find out another way.
Right.
That's
not from your actual partner.
Really the problem too. Then it's like, okay, we're not united on this. You didn't tell me. Now I'm just like, excuse.
Also, the most obvious take of all time, honesty is just the best policy when you're dating someone. Like, even if you have information that you think, like she was saying, she lied because she thought he wouldn't like her.
Yeah.
I understand what she's saying, but just as a word of advice, if you are dating, just be so upfront and honest, because first of all, the right person won't, like, this won't be a deal breaker for them. Like, hopefully they'll just be like, okay. And I understand that feeling, especially I think if you do grow up religious, like and if you're younger, like there are certain things where maybe you feel shame about it. So you're like, I don't want to tell anyone. But I just feel like the right person will love you for you and move past it. And it's always better to be honest than to like lie about something like that and then get married under like false. I'm not trying to shame this girl, but I'm just saying it's like,
that's rough.
Just complete honesty is always the best. And if they don't want to be with you, then they don't want to be with you.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, okay, well, when I was in high school, this happened similar to me where I was dating a guy and he had told me him and his ex didn't do anything. And then I found out from the ex's friend that they did. And I remember just being like,
why did you lie?
Why didn't you just tell me? Like being so mad. Like, why didn't you just tell me? I wouldn't have cared, but like, why did you lie to me? And it's hard to find. I'm like, you're screwed. If you find out later, it's like.
Well, that is kind of a sketchy. That is a weird one. Just this in general. Because
I feel like you might have to take this to your grave.
Totally. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's not too late to be honest, but kind of just, it's like, well, what's the difference now? Like, you're already married, I guess. But it's a sticky thing because it's like, how much information do you owe the people that you're dating?
Yeah.
I don't know, because
exactly.
Truly, I do feel like to some extent, like what you've done with other people, why is that their business?
Exactly.
Like, especially if they're not explicitly asking, which even then it's like, okay, that was my past. Like, why do I have to go into my history with you? Like, that's not important, and it's kind of none of their business. I just feel like if it's important to him where it's like, oh, I've waited for marriage, have you also? Like, if that's something like a pillar for him, then first of all, the lie is going to feel a lot more, it's going to hit a lot harder because it's like, okay, whoa, like this was a priority for me. This was something I thought we both valued, and obviously, you know.
You're entitled to your own private life. Like, you're entitled to have privacy in certain things and not have to tell. But yeah, it's just, it kind of depends on the situation. Cause I'm just assuming like, if it was like one time or not one, I'm like, if you didn't sleep around, but like, if it was like not, it wouldn't affect your day to day now. Even again, like I'm saying, like if it was someone who like they know, or if it's someone they specifically asked about, it's like, oh, you slept with someone in college or like other people. I don't know. It's a little different. Like the situations I feel like are a little bit different. But again, regardless, you don't really owe anybody because you can still have like your privacy. It's just as the other person, you almost like want to give them, I don't know. That's actually like a hard thing.
I know. I feel like there is a balance because I don't know where the line is, because I'm thinking if like you're to ask someone, I mean, again, hopefully you just be comfortable with enough with each other to tell each other whatever. I'm just wondering like what would even be a priority to know. Like if you are dating someone, is it even really important to know like what they've done with other people? I mean, I think it's context, like to know how many people have you slept with? Like, have you slept with 100 girls or have you slept with one? Those are different things. And that would give different context, I guess. But it also is just like their private life. It does not mean it's not a defining feature necessarily. So it's hard.
Yeah, I do think you're right when you're younger. Because I'm thinking, I wouldn't give a rip. Like, regardless. When you're younger, and especially in certain communities, it's like life altering.
Oh, 100%.
It is like oh my gosh, it affects you so much. If you heard, because I'm even saying like when I found that on high school, because I valued that so much, I was like so mad. I'm just like, why didn't you tell me? Like, and you lied to me. This is like whatever. But yeah, now I don't know. I just feel like the best response is maybe, obviously I'm like this, you can't be helped, but in general, I feel like if you're dating, if someone were to ask you, like even, especially early on, just be like, I don't really feel like that's any of your business. Like, oh, how many people have you slept with? Or like, you know, something. It's like,
if you don't feel comfortable,
that's not really any of your business at this point.
Yeah.
maybe ever. But like that's something maybe if you are getting serious that you guys can share. But again, you can always keep whatever you want private. But it's just a more, I don't know. And when you are younger, I'm just assuming based on our demographic, like they were younger, probably religious. It's like,
right. I totally understand where she's coming from, by the way. Like I definitely, especially if you are riddled with guilt and shame, like
yes,
it is much harder to be honest because there's all these layers that it's not just a simple thing to you.
If it's bothering you now, I feel as though you could go to him. He's your husband. I'm sure it's like, it's probably going to be a thing because like if you thought about the opposite way, it would probably be a thing.
For sure.
But if you went to him, and like if this is really bothering you, I'm not even saying you have to tell him. You really don't. You can just take it with you forever and never tell him. I think that's totally fine. But also if you feel like you want to tell him, like it's eating you up, you could just sit him down and just be like, hey, I really want to talk to you about something. I feel really bad about this. I like wanted to tell you the truth. And even though I don't really feel like it's any of your business anyways, like in terms of whatever, but this, and I did lie about this and I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's your husband. Like I'm sure he would just be like, okay, that
I'm sure
like,
it would
really
be somewhat
hurts.
of a thing, but it wouldn't probably be detrimental, hopefully.
Yes.
I don't think. Yeah. This is a toughie.
She's like, I'm not asking for advice.
She's like, this was not an advice column. Harkening back to Love Island quickly, when they would do that, not challenge, but like they would play that game where it's like, how many people have you slept with? How many nudes have you sent? I'm sorry, how many nudes have you sent? 800?
Yeah,
well,
wow.
Why do you have such a specific number though?
You're spamming. Yeah,
it felt like
they're making it up.
Yeah, there was one that was crazy. I'm trying to literally something like that.
So
where
specific, it was like 801.
Yeah, 803 or something. I'm like, is this clickbait or something? Like, what are we doing? You've counted your nudes? Come
Maybe
on.
they have an album in their phone of like every nude they've taken.
Maybe.
And they can see how many they've taken.
Yeah. That was killing me.
I know some people had like 3, some people had thousands. Like, okay.
I know. It's wild. It's wild out here.
I kept seeing memes. It's like me trying not to notice the sex shaming in that episode, like their reactions. It'd be like the girl has a low body count. They're like, yeah. And
literally.
The boy has one. It's like, yeah, good job, man.
Goodbye. It's true.
And then they would literally applaud like the girl, or the girl has like 3. They'd open the case and be like, ooh, damn, that's your girl. And then the guy has like 1,000. They're like, I'm a busy boy.
So actually so problematic.
So problematic.
That
so
is actually
bad.
Crazy.
They like kiss 2 girls in a day. Or sorry,
slept with.
Or like when they had like, oh, how many boys have you kissed in a day? It's like 2, or slept with in a day, 2. And they're all like, what? And then Ace was like, how do you feel about that to Jeremiah? Like, and Jeremiah actually having a mature response. He's like, I don't care. Like, it's her thing.
Yeah.
And Ace is like, no, really, how do you feel about that's your girl?
That I've known for 3 days, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, I just met her.
By the way, met her 48
She just
hours
flew
ago.
in.
Venmo is one of my most used apps. I use it for so many different things. And just, I love also having a Venmo balance. It's one of my favorite feelings. You know what the girl math is getting the Venmo debit card that they have, paying for stuff with your Venmo balance. And it just feels like it's free, honestly. It's so nice. I love, honestly, paying for stuff with a balance. Like it just feels good to me. So if you're already using Venmo a lot, and if you're, going out to eat with your friends and then everyone's Venmoing each other, this is such a nice little hack, the Venmo debit card. It connects directly to your Venmo balance, so you can Venmo everything. Food, drinks, rides, clothes, groceries, your gym membership, everything. It's so convenient because you can just spend the money that's already in your Venmo balance. So getting paid back for dinner can turn into you now paying for your Pilates class, your matcha, your new shoes, whatever you want. And if you are usually picking up the bill and like having people Venmo you, you can go to dinner, have everyone Venmo you so that your balance is ready to cover the total. And then you just swipe your Venmo debit card. Boom, it's taken care of. It is the best.
And one of the main selling points for me is that the card actually Venmos you back. So similar to a credit card, but not an actual credit card. When you pay with your Venmo debit card, you can earn up to 15% cash back at some of your favorite places, which is just more money in your pocket. You have to check it out. You can sign up today to Venmo everything with the Venmo debit card. Visit venmo.me/debit to learn more. Venmo cashback terms at venmo.me/rewards. Offers are available for a limited time at select merchants. Max cashback applies and varies. Venmo purchase restrictions apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted.
We are so beyond excited about this new sponsor, Function Health. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, then you've heard Chelsea rave about Function Health. This is the platform that she used to get her blood tested and go over all her levels for so many different things and really get a handle on her health. We choose Function because it's the only health platform that gives you access to the kind of data that most people never see and the insights to actually take action. So inside Function, you can test over 160 biomarkers from heart and hormones to toxins, inflammation, and stress. You can also access multi-region MRI and CT scans, all tracked in one secure place over time. It's a near 360 view to what's happening in your body. That's why top health leaders like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London are all behind Function Health. So there are nearly 30 biomarkers that can impact your skin more than your skincare routine. Breakouts, dullness, dryness, redness, they're not just surface issues, they are internal signals. And Function can help you see that more clearly. Function is the first health membership that gives you access to 100 plus biomarkers across the whole body. Hormones, metabolism, inflammation, heart, liver, hormones, and more. It's medical grade insights tracked over time, explained in plain language. I am so beyond excited to use Function Health. I've been getting a little bit of acne lately, which I haven't had in a few years. And I suspect that it has to do with my hormones because it normally is on my chin. And that's where I always get acne anyway, is like the chin jawline area, which is typically hormonal. So I'm really excited to test my levels and see what's going on. I heard this quote recently about how your body is very honest. So a lot of outside things that you're seeing, like I mentioned, acne or dryness or things like that, are actually internal. And you could be using all the greatest skincare in the world or whatever, but it's so important, your internal balance and your hormones and all of that. And that is a lot of times why we have the issues that we do externally. So it can test your glucose and insulin, your estradiol and your testosterone, zinc, iron, like you name it. So Function is offering 160 plus lab tests for $365 to anyone who signs up between July 7th and July 11th. To learn more and get started, visit www.functionhealth.com/whatwesaid.
I overplucked my eyebrows so badly once, and they looked awful. I was too embarrassed to admit I did it, so I told everyone I tried to lick a candle and got too close to the flame, and it burned my eyebrows. It got brought up a few years ago, and I still pretended like it was from the candle flame, even though I know everyone knows I was lying.
Lick a candle flame.
IDKY, I can't give it up yet, LOL, but I will continue to lie till the day I die. I am.
That is hilarious. That's even worse. Licking a candle flame is, dare I say, more embarrassing?
No, than just plucking. That's a rite of passage as a girly to over pluck your eyebrows. Probably in your junior high days. Mm-hmm. I've done it. I'm like, or someone comes to school and they're like, yeah, I tried to pluck my eyebrows last night. Didn't know what I was doing, and now they are thin as paper.
Yeah. The thin brows were the trend, though, at the time.
Yeah. But like no direction. They're just like plucking away.
True. Yeah. You
and then you
don't
can't
know where like
straight.
The starting and the stopping point is.
No, you can't see straight. You're plucking your eyebrows. You're like, they're huge still. Like, what is happening? Then you
look
wake up. You're like, oh, I look surprised.
So tiny.
All the time.
I've kind of been like, it's probably just a trend, but I kind of have been liking a thinner brow lately. I mean, not for myself. I haven't like waxed them or plucked them in that way. But I feel like it is kind of, you know how it goes. Like it used to be the bushy brow. I feel like it is getting thinner now.
Yeah.
Like the trend of it.
Yeah. Let's leave the eyebrow trends alone, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, it's always something.
I know. Like, haven't we learned the thin to the thick to the thin to the thick?
I know. Okay, this is my last one. I created a bit with myself about 3 years ago that I would be a Giants fan. I literally did a TikTok filter shuffling through NFL logos. It landed on the Giants, so I went with it.
Me AF with the Cubs.
Went to work claiming to love the Giants, told all my friends and gaslit them if they were confused about my sudden loyalty to a team across the country. Only told my sister it was a bit and she immediately joined it. 3 years later, and I've watched documentaries. I watch all their games. I'm keeping up on their roster and trades in the off season. Like, it is just my truth now, and it is so funny to me. The best part is they're a terrible team. Everyone's always consoling me about how bad my boys are doing, and I'm genuinely like, hey, not too much on my guys. That's family.
Please. Oh my gosh, when I was little, I was on one softball team, and we were the Cubs, and I was like, I wore that jersey every day. I'm like, I'm obsessed with the Cubs, the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, that's my team. I love them. I've always loved them. Like, obsessed with them. Knew nothing.
That is hilarious. Like, it is an amazing exercise of free will to just be like, I'm a fan of this team. Like, you could literally pick any team.
Anything.
And just
You can be a fan of anything.
Yeah, and be like, I'm such a fan. And
did Virginia for my state report in 6th grade.
Obsessed.
Never actually been to Virginia. Obsessed. Literally obsessed. I'm like, I'm picking Virginia. Duh, you guys. That's obviously my favorite state.
That is so funny that you can just become obsessed with something and literally, like she said, gaslight everyone and be like, no, I'm obsessed. I've always liked this team. Like,
this is my favorite.
Like, what's the sudden obsession? What do you mean? It's always been here.
I love that.
I love
so
that.
much.
I want to start doing that with random things.
Yeah. I'm down. I feel like I do that.
Random teams, random hobbies, just all of a sudden a complete fixation on something. And it can actually become true. That's the funny part.
That's the thing. That's me with gardening. I had a literal one flower. I'm like, I'm a gardener.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys didn't know that?
No, it's...
Buy my gardening supplies.
You can be anything you want in this world. Yeah. Even a Giants fan.
It's beautiful.
That is so hilarious. I love that she just decided that was a bit she was going to do. And like everyone in her life knows about it now. It's like, oh, you're a Giants fan. Like... That is so funny.
I love that.
My kind of girl. Thank you guys for writing in your lies. Thank you for trusting us, even though we did kind of roast.
I know. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We understand it's a lie that you possibly feel bad about. And, you know, you're doing what you can mentally to rectify it by getting it off your chest.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We appreciate that. If you guys want to be a part of any of our story episodes like this one, go follow our Instagram. We'll put little prompts on our stories and you can be a part of episodes. If you want tour tickets, we'll link them in the description or the show notes. Thank you guys so much for buying tour tickets, by the way. We're so freaking excited to meet you guys and hang out. We've been scheming. We're so excited for these shows. We love you so much. And that's what we said. Bye.